Hi everybody, I'd like to share with you the June garden tour. Things are starting to get going here. We're about mid-June. Wanted to do this earlier in the month, but I didn't get around to it. So let's take a walk around and take a look and see what's growing in my garden here, okay? All right. Right here we have the carrot in the beet bed. Beets are super easy to grow, for me anyway. My garden is beet strong every year. Not everybody enjoys beets the way that I do. They're kind of earthy. It's kind of a, I don't know, some people like them, some people don't. But I grow a lot of beets. My mom, my mother-in-law, and I, all three of us love them. Very easy to grow. They are coming in beautifully this year. Carrots, not as easy to grow. We're kind of spotty on the carrot. Well, carrots are easy to grow. Let me rephrase. It's not easy to germinate carrots. So they're kind of spotty through the garden. That's okay. I started filling in some other things when I didn't think that the carrots were growing. There's Ruby, the old Doberman. Get out of the herbs, Ruby. So I do have this purple creme in here. I let grow some of the dill. Dill just goes everywhere in the garden. And we do have some carrots in here. Not as big of a harvest as I was gonna want, but that's okay. Over in this bed, I have my 3 Roma tomatoes. Usually I like to do at least 4 storage tomatoes, and this only came in a 3-pack. This one is not doing as well as her sisters are, so I need to get that figured out before it affects my harvest. I also have some peppers coming in this bed. They're either jalapenos or banana peppers. I can't remember which. I didn't write it down. Should have. Oh well. And I also have some flowers and some green onions planted in here. I've got flowers going in the garden this year, as always, because pollinators are important. There is a blog post about that, julieobsesses.com/pollinators are important. Go check it out. It's a good post. It has a lot of pictures of the flowers I grew last year and the year before. So here we are in my next bed. I have 3 more tomato plants. 1, 2, 3 already in cages. These are my Brandywine tomatoes. In my opinion, the best eating tomatoes. I just love Brandywines, and they're such a beautiful purple color. I also have some more flowers growing in here. And these are either Cosmos calendula or zinnia. That's what I have growing, but this sneaky little bugger looks like a sunflower, but that's fine. I'm not going to turn down any rogue sunflowers that want to grow in my garden. I'm actually pretty happy to see that. Moving on to the herb bed. It is herbs or weeds, and these herbs are growing like weeds for sure. I have peas growing in here as well. This is in the brand, or I'm sorry. A seed by Burpee. It's called Easy Peasy. It said they don't have to be trellised, and I don't think that they do. They are just trellising in on themselves, and it is really kind of cool. There's the mint we talked about in my last video. The mint that I thought I could just plant and it wouldn't go crazy. Yeah, I was wrong. There's mint everywhere. I've got some lavender in here. I'm growing celery for the first time. That's been exciting. That's coming in well. It looks a lot like the parsley. Basil, green onions, rosemary, oregano, thyme, all your usual suspects, and more dill, of course. You can't have enough dill. Little baby dill in there. I just let the dill go wherever it wants to in the garden. Next, I have my sad and disappointing bean bed. The Shipman garden tends to, Julie obsesses, struggles with the beans, and I love canned green beans. Like, I seriously love them. So I initially planted, and I looked this up in the garden internet world, folks. Yes, you can grow arugula with green beans. So I did, and look at what I got. This is ridiculous. The arugula overtook the beans. I pulled all the arugula out. I planted more beans, and the beans are just like failing me. Something is coming through and doing this to my brand new beans. So what I'll probably end up doing is just, maybe I'll plant some more carrots in here. Maybe I'll save this for my fall garden. I tend to fail at the fall garden. I think about it like way too late. I need to read my seed packages, see how long everything is gonna take to sprout, and plant it that much ahead of time before the last frost. It's really easy to do. It just seems to slip right through. Anywho, this monstrosity that we have going on here is my asparagus bed. Asparagus harvest early in the spring. Once you figure out that your dog is eating it before it comes out of the ground, we actually had a really good harvest after that. But this ferny material is what grows and expands your root system, making for an even better harvest the next year. And honestly, it's kind of pretty. I really like it. I'm enjoying my arugula, or my asparagus patch. So on to the next patch of the garden. This is where we expanded this year. Wood is 287% overpriced this year. So my answer to, hey, I need new garden beds, was let's get some grow bags until we can, until the price of wood comes down, hopefully soon. So let's go over what I have going in the grow bags. This are some more of the peas. I'm excited about those. They're getting about ready to harvest. This was mesclun mix. It is hot here this year, so the lettuce has bolted. It's time to pull the lettuce and put something else in that pot. Maybe some more carrots, maybe some more beets, I don't know. This is my cherry tomato plant that desperately needs to be staked. I didn't stake it when I staked everybody else, and that is a mistake. It's a mistake not getting them staked. Sorry about the play on words there. This is my novelty plant this year. I have never grown squash except for zucchini, but this is a winter squash. It's called the Harvest Moon winter squash, and it's supposed to not be affected by blight, or it's more resistant to blight, and it's supposed to store really well. So far I think they're really pretty, and I'm excited to see what harvest we get from that. There we have some zucchini back there. Not doing so well, but whatever. This is another one of my tomatoes. This tomato is huge. It is in a cat litter bucket. I like to repurpose things. But this is the Mortgage Lifter tomato. I bought it the same size as all the rest of my tomatoes, and so far she is huge. So I'm excited to see how much harvest I get out of that. Here is another grow bag. This one I think cost me about $30. It's about 3 foot across. Super excited about it. It's big enough that I have 3 eggplant planted in there and 3 more pepper plants. So, and I also have flowers planted along the outside edge of it. It has these little pockets that keep it more stable. I'm excited about this too. More pollinators, you know, in the garden, more flowers, more pollinators. It's what you need to keep your garden growing. And speaking of flowers in the garden, this beautiful little black-eyed Susan vine I just put over here as a little decoration. So when I come out here and sit, I've got something pretty to look at. Isn't she pretty beautiful? And these are the beans that are not failing me. I have these 5 pots growing. I have black beans planted in these, and they are doing great. The idea is that I'm using this fence as my trellis, and they are already starting to grow up the trellis. The neighbors don't live here, so they don't mind that I use their fence as a trellis, and these beans are doing their job. They're doing great. I'm excited about my black bean harvest. So here's my pots, my black beans, and last but not least, this year, my mother-in-law gifted me this cute little blueberry bush. She came from QVC. Don't eat the bush, Ruby. This is a cute little QVC blueberry bush that my mother-in-law bought for me. And then I read that they do better. Thanks, Ruby, for kicking the blueberries. They do better when you have two types of blueberries. They cross-pollinate and make for a better harvest. So this is another blueberry tree or blueberry bush that I purchased and planted here in the garden. So I am super excited about the newly added blueberries this year. So is my daughter Grace. She loves to make pie. She loves blueberries, so it's a win-win there. And it's a win-win for us when she makes pie. So that is my garden update for June. So keep on watching. Let's see what the harvest brings us, okay? Talk to you later. Thanks for stopping in.